Hi everybody, welcome to Live Blogger. In this tutorial series, we are building this drawing app using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. Now in this video, we will add the undo and redo functionality for our app. So let's get started. So now we can see that we are able to draw on our canvas and we can change the brush size and also the color of the brush. And we can also go ahead and click on this button to clear the canvas. But we don't have the option of undo and redo. So let's go back to our source code. And first of all, in the HTML, let's add the undo and redo buttons. So here after the full screen button, let's go ahead and create a button. And here let's add an icon. And let's give it a class of FA undo. And this should go ahead and create this undo button over here. Let's also add the classes and the ID. So let's tap class and let's set it to BTN and BTN icon for the correct styling. And let's also add an ID. So let's tap undo BTN. So here we can see we have the undo button. Let's duplicate this and let's create one more button called redo button. And here in the icon, let's tap redo. So now we can see we have the undo and redo buttons over here. Right now, let's start with the functionality. So let's go back to our source code and let's go to the main.js file. And first of all, let's target the undo and redo button. So here I'll just type const undo button equals document.getElement by ID. And let's type undo button. And here let's type const redo btn equals document.getElement by ID redo btn. And let's also create some variables for storing the history. So here let's go ahead and type let history equals an array. So by default it'll be an empty array. And let's go ahead and type let history index equal to -1. So this will store at what point of our history we are at the moment when we undo or redo. And let's create one more const called max history. So here let's go ahead and type 50. You can also add any number you want over here. Now we are adding this max history just to limit the number of saved steps so that the memory doesn't go overboard. Right now, let's go ahead and start with the functionality. So let's create a comment called undo redo. And first of all, let's create a function and let's call it save history. And in this function, we will write the code to save the current snapshot of the drawing on the canvas to the history. So we can go ahead and type history, which we created, which is an empty array, dot push. So this will add some data to the history. And here let's go ahead and add ctx, which is the context where we get the image data. So let's type dot get image data. And here let's go ahead and pass 0, 0 for the x and the y. And for the height and the width, let's go ahead and type canvas dot width and canvas dot height. Now this will push the current state of the canvas to the history. Let's add one more line of code over here, which is let's type history equals history dot slice 0 history index plus 1. Now what this will do is it will remove any future states of our drawing if a new action is made after undo. For example, if we draw something and after that if we press the undo button, this line will be removed. And now if I press the redo button immediately, then the line will come back. But if I press the undo button and if I start drawing something else, then this line should disappear from our history and it should no longer be available. So that's why we are adding this history slice. So it will slice everything from the first state of the canvas to the current state, and all the future states will be removed. And this will happen only if we make some more changes after undoing. All right, let's go back and let's go ahead and create an if condition and let's type history dot length. And let's see whether it is greater than max history. So if it is greater than the max history, which is 50 that we set, then we need to type history dot shift. So what this will do is it will remove the first entry from the array. So if the history is 51, then the 0th entry will be removed from the history. So in this way, we'll always keep maximum of 50 instances of this snapshot in our history. And let's add an else. And if it is not the case, then let's go ahead and type history index plus plus. So it will increase the index. So by default, it will be -1. and then we will increase it one by one whenever we save a new history. Let's add one more if condition over here, and let's type if history index is greater than or equal to history.length. Then we'll just go ahead and set the history index back to history.length -1. So this will always make sure that the history index has the correct value. And we'll also create a button to update the buttons. So we need to disable these buttons whenever we should not be able to click on the buttons. So let's create a function called update buttons, and I'll just call it over here. Right now, let's create the update buttons function. So I'll just type const update buttons, and here let's type undo button dot disabled if the history index is less than or equal to 0, and redo button disabled if history index is greater than or equal to history dot length -1. So this will make sure that we are not able to undo if we don't have any history, and the same with the redo button. If the history index is greater than the history length -1, then we don't have any steps to redo. So we'll just go ahead and disable the button. And let's go to the CSS and let's add some styles for the disabled buttons. So let's type button : disabled, and I'll just set the opacity to 0.5 and cursor to not allowed. Now let's go ahead and call this function right here at the beginning. So I'll just type save history. And now we can see that the undo and redo buttons are disabled right now. Now we need to call the save history function when we draw something and we leave the mouse button. So here we can see that we have drawn this shape, and after we leave the mouse button, we should be able to save the history. So let's go back and let's take a look at the mouse up event listener, and here I'll just go ahead and type is drawing is false, and then we'll just type save history. So this will call the save history function over here once we complete a part of our drawing, and we'll call the same save history function in the clear button as well. So here let's type save history, and now let's go back, and if I draw something over here, we can see that we have this undo button over here, so which means that the history is saved. And let's go ahead and console.log the values over here. So let's type console.log history, and let's type history. Let's also type console.log history index. Let's type history index. And now let's go back and let's open the console. And now we can see that in the console, we can see that we have the history, which is the image data. And right now it is this blank canvas, and the history index is set to 0 because by default it was set to -1. And when we execute the save history function, we are incrementing the history index. So now let's draw something. So now we can see that the history index is 1. And here we can see there are 2 items inside this history array. And this is the first item, which is the image with the blank canvas. And then this one is this shape that we just drew. Let's draw something else. And this is another shape. And now we can see that the history index is set to 2. And here we can see we have 3 items. This is the first one, which is the blank canvas. This is the second one, which is this black brush drawing. And this is the third one, which is this colored drawing. So in this way, the history is stored inside our memory. So let's go back and let's remove the console log from here. Right now, let's create a function called apply history. So let's type const apply history. And in this function, we will get a state from the history and add it to the canvas. So for that, let's go ahead and type if history, and in the index, if we just type history index. So if we have this history index, and if we already have a history, then let's go ahead and type ctx put image data. And for the first argument, which is the image data, let's type history index. So this will get the image data from this current history and add it to the canvas. And for the x and the y axis, let's type 0, 0. And now we need to create another function to step through the history. So let's type const step history, and we'll also get direction over here. Now the direction is basically +1 or -1. So if we have -1, then it will undo, and if we provide +1, then it will redo. So first of all, let's create a const called new index, and let's say it's equal to history index plus direction. So if it is -1, then it will decrement the history index. So it will be history index minus 1. And if it is a positive 1, then it will increment the history index by 1. Right now, let's add an if condition and let's check whether the new index is greater than or equal to 0. Ampersand new index is less than history dot length. So if these are true, then we'll set the history index to the new index. So we'll basically go back and forward in the history array. Let's call this function called apply history. So this will add the drawing of that history to the canvas. And let's also call the update buttons function. Right now, let's create two functions. So let's type const undo. And here we'll just go ahead and call the step history function. And let's pass -1 over here. And this should be undo. And let's create another function called redo. And here we'll just call the step history function. And I'll just pass 1 over here. So it will increment. Right now, let's add the event listeners for undo and redo buttons. So let's type undo btn dot add event listener, and let's listen for the click event, and I'll just call undo function right here. And let's type redo button dot add event listener, and let's listen for the click event, and here let's type redo. Now this should work. So let's go back to our website and let's draw something, and let's click on this undo button, and the drawing is gone. Now let's click on the redo button and it comes back. So everything is working all right. Let's click on undo and everything is working all right. The redo is also working. Let's change the colors and let's see whether it works. And everything is working all right. So with that, we have completed creating the undo and redo functionality of our website. Now just for better user experience, let's go ahead and add keyboard shortcuts as well. So let's go back and here let's type document dot add event listener, and let's listen for the key down event, and we'll just get some value. I'll just call it E, and here we'll just check whether the user has pressed the Ctrl Z key, and we'll also check for the command key on Mac. So let's type E.ctrl key, which is the control key, or E.meta key, which is the command key, ampersand E.key dot to lowercase, so that we don't have any confusions, and let's set it equal to Z. So if the user presses Ctrl Z or Command Z, and if they are not pressing the Shift key, so let's type exclamation E dot Shift key, then we'll just go ahead and first of all prevent the default behavior, and let's type undo. So just call this function. Now let's write the command for redo. So let's type if E.ctrl key or E.meta key, which is the command key, ampersand E.key to lowercase equals Y. So if they press Ctrl Y or Command Y, or if they press Ctrl Shift Z or Command Shift Z, so let's type E.shift key ampersand E.key dot to lowercase equals Z. And here let's go ahead and type E.prevent default and redo. So if they press the Ctrl Y key or the Command Y key or the Ctrl Shift Z or Command Shift Z keys, then they should be able to redo. So let's go back and let's draw something, and I'll just press Command Z and I'm able to undo. And if I press Command Shift Z, I'm able to redo. And I'll also press Command Y and I'm able to redo. So the keyboard shortcuts are also working correctly. And with that, we have completed adding the undo and redo functionality for our website. So that's basically it for this video. If you have any doubts, you can ask in the comments below. And if you like this video, please click on the like button and subscribe to this channel to get the latest video updates. Thanks a lot for watching. Have a nice day.